Welcome, Free Enterprise fans, to the first of our two twin casts today for the Eblan Elixir League. We're approaching the end of week 3 of the Potion Party, a segment of this year's event. And we've got two matches for you here with some high stakes, as they have the potential here to determine which team will reign supreme. Putting the broadcast together today, we've got Dathis on Restream, Garen and It's Spelled Aerith tracking progress. I'm Hush Pyramid, and with me in the booth is JMac the Librarian. How goes it?
It goes pretty well. It's a Saturday afternoon. We've got a lot of free enterprise from now until the end of the day. It's going to be a good day, starting with this head-to-head between Bold Strat and Team No Springs up at the top. Both of these teams are 1-1, so this one will decide who comes out victorious for this race today.
Right, and we've got a double Edward start here. We've got the Ninja Edward and we have the Bard Edward and a Rat Tail.
And that is a Dark Knight Cecil sitting right there at the Beigen spot. Something that our runners definitely want to see now, because that means that he is not hiding up on the moon.
Yeah, and what do you think of our objectives today here? Looks like here our competitors are looking to do 6 of 7.
Yes. And you know what? It is not a Darkness Immediate Go mode seed. So we are going to have to find a few key items in order to hit that Go mode and start tackling some of those moon spots. So this is going to be interesting, because we're going to see our runners route in some key item checks, because we are looking for at least 4 key items for Go mode today.
Yeah, and we need some cash to go along with it here. And we've got Divergence right away here. It looks like we have 2 runners, Flossie and Y2 Sky, heading to Baron first, Nitsi to the Watery Pass, and Flanders going straight to Eblan Castle.
All pretty good choices for looting. Obviously, going into Peak Baron, seeing that Rydia, that is definitely going to be some information that both Flossie and Y2 Sky are going to use to their advantage, because Bahamut orbs are for sale everywhere. So they know they're going to need to save about $85,000 to be able to buy that when they come across it.
Yeah, Blarg does Blarg things here, and if you can find that Bahamut Orb early and find an early Rydia here, that makes much of the early game pretty much free for the taking.
Most definitely. And also with this edge start too, that means that these Eblan traps could be taken super early with Assassin Dagger that we start with. And then that's just a lot of general overworld power between that Rydia, Bahamut, and Edge. So we are sitting pretty so far, and we're only 2 minutes in.
Yeah. Like there's with the Edge start here, you do have the that potentiality here for to take these treasures relatively early here. You do need to use those 3 hourglasses potentially here. Some people like to hang on to them a little bit more longer. I'm one of those people, but some people like to use them right away.
Yeah, when I have been playing, I have liked to save at least 1 for those underground traps. But with an edge start, I definitely don't hate peeking some characters and just taking these immediately, because it's a lot of XP to get your party on the ground, as well as just going ahead and getting those 3 key item checks out of the way very quickly.
Yeah, so so far here, most of the early game that we've seen so far is heavy looting, because all of our there's no items here, just money in these chests, and you can shop to your heart's content here, but you're not going to find. The chance that you won't find as much money as one would like. So you do have to be, choosy, picky here with the items you do get here, lest you run out of cash, because you can.
What? Run out of cash? It's T-money.
Well, you just have to find a few more boxes here, but it's finding a few more boxes lying around, right?
Yes, and you know what, Edge, he's kind of an expensive hero. In order to, I mean, not to get him online like for overworld, but masses aren't cheap. And even though he's going to be our hero, we're going to probably need to do some agility stuff, so we probably don't necessarily want masses, but even Muras, they're also not cheap.
We're seeing some shopping here. We do have knowledge here, well, at least Y2 Sky does here, that we do have an Angie stick for sale here. So if you do find a Cecil or a Kane, well, that'll do a lot. That'll help out a lot in the damage front there.
Oh, for sure.
I believe
Nitzy getting a good shop with some bows. Listen, the amount of times that I have played Seeds where there have not been any bows except for that silly great bow, anytime I find any sort of bow, I'm buying that. And we see Nitzy getting that elven bow, gonna come in handy, especially with some of our bosses that are weak to mute.
Now, of note here, from the trap chests here, Flanders has found a hook.
Oh.
So hook, rat tail start here. That's a check, an additional key item check right then and there. So
not to mention going to get 2 more trap chests that are high probability of giving key items, as well as that gated character check.
Yeah, you also wouldn't hate to see a Masamune or a Moonveil here either. Gear here that our party can use,
or a spoon.
Well, that's these. Well, we saw the second strongest weapon in the game here, the crystal sword. Assuming we find a Cecil.
Yeah, he's probably just chilling on the giant somewhere.
Or that hero vacationing with Fu.
Oh, I hear it's a good time to go on a cruise.
Get a little seasick sometimes. That's why there's no boats in. That's why we took out the boat in free in the randomizer. All right, we've seen crystal rings here for sale. Looks like in that's in the Village Mist. So and if you don't find a crystal sword, you can always buy a crystal sword here because Flanders has found one for sale. Won't need to make that purchase anymore because also has an X-Cal in that inventory as well. So we've got a dart for Edge and a swingy stick for a potential Cecil.
Yeah, definitely love finding X-Cals in boxes when I have an Edge hero because those are just more darts. Right. We do see Flossie buying some Ninja Stars to get some of her dart items. And yeah, it looks like our runners are prepping to take this overworld by storm momentarily.
Now, with regards to purchasing here, we did see Nitzy here buy 2 crystal rings here. Again, here, although you get a fair chunk of money here, you're not going to be able to spend it on everything that you want right away. As we see Fighters get Iridia here and take on the Mega Sisters here. What are your thoughts in terms of when to buy weapons or when to buy armor?
So there's some things that I just that are auto buys, and honestly, crystal rings after doing some shopping, some looting, especially with this Edge hero, you're going to have to make most of your party members fast because Edge is a super fast hero. Okay. So going ahead and getting 2 crystal rings, I am definitely not opposed to that, especially on the seed, finding them so early.
Mm-hmm. Now we alluded to early at the beginning of the match here that we did see a Dark Knight Cecil at the Bygone spot, a place that you like to see it. Another place, one place you don't like in terms of tough bosses, you like to see a Bygone at the Mist Cave here because that means Bygone isn't anywhere else. That's that'll be potentially catastrophic for our runners today.
Yes, and you know what? We can just leave him there. He's good, just chilling in the cave today.
Yeah, and Waterfall has been checked in. We did a little while ago here. We did see we have an antlion taking a bath.
So yeah, another one of those bosses that, depending on what spot they're in, could be very problematic. So you know what? These early bosses we've been spotting, pretty good for our runners this morning.
Okay. Right, Flossie's doing a little more shopping. Flanders looking to launch the hovercraft and hope, and we'll see what's behind that rat tail and see if that hook here leads to an early advantage for him.
Yeah, this is the definite advantage of taking those traps early compared to other runners, is that Flanders is on his way to get a lot of potential early advantage with these checks.
All right, so we're about to find out here. Y2 Sky says taking down the Mega Sisters on his side here, has the Viridian in the party now, and oh boy!
Let's go.
We got Spoonword online. That is huge. Potentially huge.
Definitely. Definitely means that Edward will probably be sticking around.
Yeah.
Especially in this early game.
Yeah.
Just because of how valuable that extra DPS is going to be.
And Flanders is going to love to see that power shirt once he pops into the armor shop there. The Artemis bow as well. In the weapon shop here. Like, this is... he is he's being very rewarded for those checks so far. And bandanas here, yeah.
Power shirts, man. Yeah. Silvera has the goods today.
Yes. Do not anger the bard today here, otherwise you won't be in for a good time. Yeah. Chat mentioned here, Cure 3 in the shop, no healer seed. Always a possibility. This is S wild though, so you're going to when there's items here, you're going to see a Cure 3 somewhere in the world here. So if you want to buy some Hanzo for Edge, well, we got Mosses for sale.
Yep, Nitzy trying to sell as much as he can to buy that. We'll see if he gets there.
Y2 Sky looked, believe that's a play. Don't recall if that was a play. Yeah, I think that was a play at the Fabul Gauntlet here. We're seeing D-Lunars. If memory serves correct here, based on the damage output here, that's what it kind of looks like.
Yes, I believe so.
All right. Well, yeah, that is definitely Fabul, and we'll see what the king has in bed with him today. Right. And Y2 Sky 4 devs. We have a pan, so there's no there's no single dipping Fabul today.
Nope.
Flanders is also now diving the cave Eblan here. We'll pick up a stack of heal pots here. Also, of note here, a gated character here, so we could see one of our restricted characters there. We could see a Cecil here. But depending for a Cecil here, or just another body for the party. A white mage here will be a pleasant, a happy sight to see.
Another body to be able to just go ahead and take the rest of these overworld spots would be great.
Yeah. Plus 2 more trap chests you have access to, so another 2 chests here. So you may players may choose to leverage that here to a potential further advantage. All right. On Flossie's side here, we see that she's looking for that free summon and gets Titan today here, which is you're not unhappy to see that as a free summon.
Yes. Until we get Quake, which Rydia learns Quake much later than Palom. Titan kind of comes in handy, although on this flag set, if you can find a Leviathan or a Bahamut on the overworld shops, you'll never use Titan.
No, sometimes here, like the items you're looking for here are in the places that you least want them to be. We've all had that time we know the item that we're looking for happens to be on the moon.
Of course, it always is. My favorite is when the cabins are on the moon, it's kind of useless at that point.
All right, now I did see, I believe Flanders here did take a check here, but I believe, oh boy, Magma Key is in the Staleman chest.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be an everybody diving hook today.
Yeah, that is super spicy. And this means here that Flanders is well ahead of the game right now, unless we've got another chain somewhere, and you're not unhappy to see a Rosa there.
An Artie bow wielder. And there were Artie arrows as well on the hook route. So you know what? This party is ready to rock and roll. With Massas, a spoon, an Artie bow. We just need that Bahamut summon. And you know what? We are rocking and rolling.
And we're okay. And you don't see this too often. I believe is that our first dive into the antlion cave.
Yeah, I was just thinking that this is going to be our first look at antlion at 15 minutes. Sometimes these seeds just send you in very strange, abnormal routing ways. So yeah, this is going to be exciting.
All right, and we have a less than inspiring dark elf here.
You know what? He's trying really hard.
All right. Flanders diving further into Upper Babel, searching for that Mad Ogre's trap chest here. We'll see what key items there here. Also, with the edging the party here, does open up possibility here to steal some Bacchus along the way, because you can't buy those.
Yes. And because we know, well, you know what? I wasn't paying attention when Flanders took the Mad Ogres earlier to know if he actually stole some Bacchus then. But yes, there are two chests where you can steal Bacchus, as well as, especially because Cave Magnus is an objective. If we end up having to follow the Twin Harp, you can also use one of our 2 starting sirens in there to also steal Bacchus. So lots of ways to get some Berserk items for this party.
I'm not sure what this Twin Harp thing is you mentioned here.
Oh,
but anywho,
yeah, sorry, I forgot who I was in the booth with today.
Anywho, here Flossie did find an Earth Crystal at the Antlion Cave. Here opens up, a treasury if you do need, another cash infusion. It's a long check here, but it's incentive here to go check the Flame Doggo chest here. 2 characters and a key item check once you land back in Baron.
Yeah, this could definitely be a rabbit hole, especially because we already know where our magma key is, where our underground access is, but also it's 2 character checks and 2 key item checks.
All right, so on Flanders' side here, that Mad Ogre chest nearly got a little spicy, but the key item is nothing of importance. Just some musical instrument.
Oh. Yeah, nothing of importance, just an objective. Come on, Pyramid. We have to acknowledge objectives in this flag set.
I acknowledge 7 of them. All right, now we're seeing Nitsi make dive into Castle Eblan, taking care of those trap chests as well as Y2 Sky here. So they'll be on their way here to progress further here, and we'll see how far they dive into Eblan here. Flanders is making a beeline for Troya, presumably to do some shopping and nothing more.
Yes, I definitely don't hate the go directly to your objective and do your objective play.
Where's the objective?
you know what? I know your screen doesn't say 6, but mine does. But
Sorry,
yeah, so
where?
we are gonna get our first look at an objective in under 25 minutes. And you know, if this pays off, this will put Flanders in a very good driving seat for the rest of this seed.
Yeah, like by my counts here, effective. Despite all of that here, like we're still at least 3 items from go mode. So there's still a lot of time here for our runners to catch, depending on where the other items are buried.
This is true. We are getting a look at the treasury. I'm seeing a lot of 1000s.
That is it's cash, but it's not as much cash as you're hoping for.
Yeah, I think that's probably below average, but it is enough, as chat says, for a couple of masses. So that'll put Flossie in a pretty good spot to get those weapons and be ready to go. Okay. And we did see both Nitzy and Y2 Sky utilize those Mad Ogre chests in Eblan Castle to steal some Bacchus. So they are set up and ready for some berserking fights for sure.
Y2 Sky now has their Murder Bard online. And Nitzy will have, presumably we'll have that available shortly as well, but something contractually obligated. Do you care to explain? Something bard music will be quiet.
Well, that was some very good shredding. Love that. Meanwhile, we also got our Doot sighting.
You have a Pale Dim sighting here. There was no dooting today, though.
Oh, yeah, that is true. There's rarely any dooting when Pale Dim is in the first slot at Baron. But that was an X cow, so not a double objective, but a dart and one objective down for Stupor Sex Flanders.
Yeah. With that first check here, we just see just some armor gear out of the Baron Inn. So yeah, not you already have the Rydia here, so yeah. Nothing to, not much, no reward out of that one for the most part.
Nope. So if the rest of our runners end up fading it, they will definitely not be punished.
Yeah. Looks like Flanders is going to make a play for the Flame Dog chest here. We know that Earth Crystal is, we know that Flanders hasn't done the Antline Cave yet, so does not have that Earth Crystal in hand.
Yep, but we are going to get an updog check. We'll see if Flame Dog is hiding in one of the first two chests or the last chest you open.
Yeah. As we're see, planners make the climb here, and our other three runners here starting, to overlap on their paths here. Give our runners a follow here. They're good people. And why did you here? Give the give our restream team a follow as well here. Everyone, it's a great community, and if you want to have fun with this here, check out our Discord. We've got a healthy community willing here to help out. If you have any questions here, and help you get started on free enterprise, and maybe you too can be our next champion.
Oh yes, because nothing is better than finding a community of people that play a 30-year-old video game.
Perfectly coded as well. All right, Flame Dog about to go down. And we find a moon veil. There's a lot of items here that you'll reset out. That you reset out of here. A moon veil is one of those non-key items that you potentially will want to walk out here because of its utility.
Yeah, and especially because you have warp. I definitely don't blame Flanders for warping this out. That is going to potentially make a rude boss in the Feymarch or on the moon way less rude.
A lot of, despite the fact that we've seen a lot of fun bosses out of the pool, there's still a lot of potential fun to be had.
For sure. A lot of bosses in this game that don't let you just hit them. So using moon veils for reflecting some different attacks, physical attacks, especially in those later boss spots, definitely going to come in handy.
On what to Sky's side here, we did see a short shot into Cape Eblan here, but then walks back out here and looks like it's going to make the full tower play. Or, well, money infusion first, because money is money.
Yes, and we need money, and we definitely still need to keep 85,000 in reserve for that Bahamut summon that we're going to find underground.
Yeah, it's probably on the moon. I mean, we did see one of our runners. I don't recall which one here, by a Leviathan. So, Leviathan, great, effective AoE if you don't have that Bahamut in hand or in head. I'm not sure which. All right, so White got indeed making the Tower of Zot play. Planners tracing back here. Look like it's going to take care of all most of the overworld checks. We are seeing here that none of our runners have even approached Mount Ordeals, which is not uncommon to see here with the characters you have so far.
Yeah, that is a very long check for one reward, potentially. And there's really not much incentive to even take that unless you see a Cecil or a Tella, or unless that is exactly where your Magna Key is hiding.
Or in this case here, maybe exactly Darkness.
Yeah, but I don't know if we're going to see an Ordeals check before headed underground at this point.
Yeah, I think it looks, Flanders here making the short trip down to Agart will, cause, some, be the direct cause of some seismic activity momentarily, and a giant hole will open in the earth. typical Saturday.
Yeah. Just another Saturday.
All right. So we're gonna take our first peek is to who is in the Tower of Zod today. The of note here, the D-Mist, of course. This is a no free game here, so the D-Mist is at large and is also an available key item. Once
Yes.
you do some patricide with Rydia in the party. Matricide, sorry. I was praying parentals, so parentals here. So yeah, matricide, I believe, would be the correct term. My bad.
Yep. So in this flag set, you're not necessarily hunting for a demist, but coming across one definitely gives you that extra check just in case to see if you can spike a secondary objective.
Yeah, we see a Leviathan in the Mega Sister spot here. This won't be any trouble here for the party here. Our two Edwards here just making mincemeat out of the snake.
Yep. So we're about to get our look at who is hanging out up here in the Tower of Zot. And on Flanders' side, we are searching for those warriors to see what key item we may or may not be able to spike from there.
Let's see. Also, making the trip to Zot here with the Earth Crystal hand. We'll do the full check. Flossie has her hook here. We'll get that spoon for Edward and have that her murder bird online. And we see a Porum.
A white mage that could act as a white mage while your Rosa is acting as a.
And while we're
attacker.
at it here,
and there's a Palom.
So we know 6 of our 7 characters.
So the chances of us finding a Cecil in this seed are growing slimmer and slimmer, but we have some very powerful mages and a Spoonward and an Edge. The unfortunate thing is that Edge is our hero, so we are going to have to utilize all of the agility manipulation gear to even get some of these mages to get a turn.
And we see the orbs. So this will be free here, but it'll take a small amount of time. Flanders making the dive through the Theme March again here. Encountered a little trouble here with the Warrior's chest from what it looks like. I didn't recall here if you took it out here or that was just a reset out here. But we do find out Luke key, which may come into play here if a required team is exactly at the sealed cave. But with the warp glitch on here, and Iridia in the party who knows warp here, I doubt we'll be seeing a dive into the sealed caves today.
Not unless we have not found our darkness crystal, even after doing all of the Sylph traps. Sylph traps. Words are hard. There we go.
We've got Flanders here making quite a few purchases here. We've got a ninja sword here, a full moon here to back row glitch the edge.
All right, let's see if this earth crystal is going to pay off in terms of key items.
And what do we have?
Well, that would be better if we hadn't already found them.
Yeah, they took a trip to Mount Zot and all they got was a power shirt.
I mean, they did get a Palom and a Porum, so...
Twins for the twin cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flanders did peek take a peek at our favorite bosses. We got Young as the King of the Fey March, and Val's playing the role of Queen of the Fey March.
That Valvalis could prove a little tricky.
That's probably okay there. Here, the Yang here is gonna hit punch like a punch hard though. Like we've seen scenarios in a few of the races so far here where you have a theoretical go mode, but in practice you get stonewalled here by something like an Ulka at Masamune or a Dark Knight Cecil here where you don't want to see a Dark Knight Cecil, stuff like that.
Very, very, very true. I just have a feeling that our Moonveil is going to come in handy in this flag or in this race today for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere here. Flanders again. We're seeing that early advantage come into play here. Because no one's actually made the trip underground yet except for Flanders. Taking a peek at Dwarf Castle here. This is effectively 2 checks, and we have the fun blue robe here. It's not free, but it's still, it's something here that the party can probably handle. Yeah,
well, I mean, we have Spoonword. Spoonword's going to do some damage.
And with this type of flag set, there are worse places to have a water hag.
Oh, most definitely.
All right, and then we'll see who's. Well, actually, we do know who protection. Sometimes here you like to pay attention here, and I didn't catch here who was actually at the top of Zot here to see who Dwarf 2. Who's that Dwarf 2?
Oh, yeah, I guess you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, in theory.
I tend to never pay attention to the bosses. The starting boss, the Eblan Cave boss. It goes right over my head.
Yeah, I'm of the. We'll just go to here and hope it's not it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, the good news about this Dwarf 2 spot is that it only has about 3,000 experience. So regardless of what's here, it's not going to be too terribly difficult.
And we don't have character number 7 at Dwarf because I believe that was a Palom there. We got Kaipo guards.
Not the guards you want to see here.
Yeah, you'd much rather see the Baron guards here, but this is still trivial. And interestingly, we are seeing an Ordeals play on Nitsy's side here.
This could spice things up for sure, depending on what's up here, because the rest of our runners are probably not coming up here.
Yeah, I think if you're underground at this point here, you're committed here to fading Ordeals here till pretty much the very end. As long as possible, at the very least. Alright. So let's see here, just making the walk across.
Oh! Extra spicy.
Yes, we have the bonus round.
I'm here for some spice.
And the dwarf castle here. There's a Moonveil at the at where the Seal Cave would be, and we'll see what dwarven fashion calls for today.
Oh. Well.
Ooh. Well then. So that makes the Ordeals play here potentially catch up depending on what shows up here. Like if it's exactly Baron Key and Sand Ruby.
Yeah. Because darkness is not hiding. Most of our runners are going to find darkness in Dwarf Castle. So now it becomes, where are the rest of the objective objects hiding?
Well, that is not what you wanted to see from the top of the castle. But, Edge is going to practice his sushi carving skills on the Octomom.
Oh. Well, speaking of spice, how about double the spice? Flossie is also up on ordeals.
Oh. So, yeah, like it's we know here that it might lead to something still here with that with the Demist up there here, but as of right now here, it's not looking good. Yep, and Plender's now starting to trace back steps here, taking on the defending Fabul now. Do you like Trace? Well, we know that the pan's here, so we know that this is the right steps here. In terms of the taking Fabul play here, it's something that we have seen in past tournaments here. It's taken maybe a bit of become a little less prevalent on that here. When it comes to Fabul here, how do you like to approach things?
I always route Fabul in the first 20 minutes anyway. But at this point, I can definitely see why Flanders has come back up, just because he already has darkness. So all he's looking for is, one of those items that's going to give him his final objective.
Of note, Nitsi found parked on the right side of Mist, and because Rydia's mom had the package, so apparently she has plotted to blow up the village the entire time. And the character was Edward, who's already in the party here. So aside from a key item count, no value in doing ordeals today, unless we do happen upon that Cecil, but we're running out of places to find Cecil.
Yeah, there are not too many spots left. Just the moon and the giant, which I don't think we're ever going to see the giant. So yeah, that Cecil is a fading dream. But that does mean that with all other options exhausted, Nitsi is going to find his darkness crystal his magma key down here on the hook route, because he has done everything else.
And White Sky about to bring everyone what is apparently what we call an encore performance.
I know you don't like this check, but that song makes this check worth it today.
There. Now, what I find interesting, we've got a Flanders here tracing back some of the steps our other runners have taken here. We've seen Flanders, do Antlion, and then it's now doing Zot here. We know, there's no value here aside from a Porum and a Power Shirt. How do you feel about, if you have, early magma here, do you like, making those, further checks down there here in terms of, a potential Sylph Cave play or a Keyless Tower play?
I personally love the Keyless Tower play in this flag set because it is 5 potential objective checks. Key item checks, especially with how kitted out our team is to just one-shot those eyeballs. It doesn't take that long, and it's 5 checks potentially, rather than coming back up to the overworld and retracing steps that potentially your opponent's already done.
Okay. So we see, Wide to Sky, Drug Maggie will make his way down here, and we'll see, where he goes. Flossie, working on, that Stalemon chest here to get that magma key, and we'll shortly have her way underground as well here, unless you wanted to dive the hook here. It's only a mom bomb, at the ruby spot. I remember that one.
Yeah, and when you dive the hook route, you get all of Edge's spells. Not that those particularly come in handy on this flag set, but yeah.
What I have here, like if sometimes the sea gives you, a bunch of people who like to swing sticks and other sharp objects here, but nobody to heal them up, and sometimes you get a bunch of casters here who will throw a lot of powerful spells here, but give them a moderate shove here and they'll fall down.
We are going to see Flossie take an edge on Nitsi because Nitsi immediately exited after getting magma, and so is not going to find the Twin Harp in Upper Fabul, whereas Flossie is prepping to go and take those 4 Mad Ogres and will find the Twin Harp. So that will put her an objective up on Nitsi.
Yeah. Let's see. White side doing some additional shopping here. We did found a Stardust Rod for sale here, so I believe made that purchase here. For the video here, Flanders about to get the bad news here. There wasn't much here in the tower here, and we'll see where he goes next.
Yeah, Flanders has also now exhausted all checks on the overworld, so we'll probably head back underground. My guess is he's going straight to tower. Oh, nope. You know what? We're going to the moon. Let's go. Let's go find our Blarg up on the moon.
We've got
wait. Just kidding. Blarg is in Tamra.
Blarg was...
Dwarf.
Dwarf Castle, yeah. Yeah, I don't believe Flanders made a stop there to shop on the item side. So, Nitsi has, they have a bit of a power advantage now here with the ability here to basically microwave everything in sight. Yeah, so with the Moonplay here, so we do have, 2 objectives available here. We also have 2 trap chests that can potentially hold your key items here in the Lunar Path and on the Big Whale.
As well as a look at a potential, our one of our last potential spots for a Cecil to be hiding. We want to have, that crystal sword is just burning a hole in our inventory. Like we want to be able to use it somehow, right?
You can use it here by feeding it to chocobos, because chocobos need food too.
This is true. I forgot. They do love their crystal swords.
Up here, I think it's satisfying and technically vegan.
But we do have dueling water hag fights going on with Nitzy and Y2 Sky. Almost exactly frame for frame.
Flander's first play on the moon is the hair dryers, and hair dryers and water don't mix. We'll see what's in this. See, if there's any value here aside from the levels. It's a pink tail. It's something. It's a key item.
It's a key item. It's a white shirt until it's not a white shirt.
It's a 10th key item as well.
Oh, that does add some value.
So, let's see who's on the lunar dais, shall we? I think it's time.
And Flossie does have her twin harp, so we'll probably head there, get that objective done, and then head underground and see what awaits her there.
And it's another Porum.
Ah, well, Porum's all over the place today.
Now, actually, I don't recall her. Did anyone check here to see who was sleeping in bed at Kaipo?
I believe chat said it was a bedward, so there were 2 bedwards in the scene.
Ah, okay. So, in terms of character checks here, we're only left with Giant and Baron at this point.
Oh yeah, I did forget about Baron. We haven't found that Baron key, so yes, there is the opportunity to find our 7th character there as well.
But, we're also at a point here where even if you do find a Cecil, it might be too late to take him. Especially if you have faded ordeals.
Yeah, that is true. And both of our runners on the bottom of our screen have faded ordeals. The runners on the top did ordeals. So yes, I doubt Y2 Sky or Flanders is going to take a Cecil even if they find him.
And we are taking a trip to the Giant, well, at least Flanders is here. Presumably, to look at that last arm check here, I don't see Flanders taking the trip to the through the bosses though.
Yeah, depending on where this last arm is going to. Well, no, definitely not in the first chest. So I won't even finish my. Maybe if it's in the last chest, you peek the boss in case it's super easy for XP, but you don't need to do that now.
If I'm not mistaken here, I believe King Queen Evelyn's still in play.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we have not seen them. Mylon Z is still a relatively free fight in this flag set. An art, drama, and something else teacher. That was a lot of preps for one teacher.
Might be a small school he worked for.
Oh, probably.
Like a one class, one classroom, K to 6 type deal. Kudos to him. I just wish Jodko could, keep a job down. Hello. Last arm pays off. We have a Sand Ruby.
Oh.
And that means Flanders is in go mode.
Yes, I imagine. Yep, going to go straight, turn that in, and then it becomes the question of, do you take the Fey March first, or do you take the Moon?
Yeah, what's on, what's at the Fey March. The Val is doable. The Yang can get spicy, but with I think at minimum here, like if you have at least a tier 3 caster, you should be okay. As long as you're able to blink somewhat up, because the kicks will hurt. The kicks will be annoying, but the punches here are what's going to be the heavy lifting.
Yes, but we do have 2 moon veils.
Yeah, like the moon veils will help against the punches here, but not the kicks.
Yes.
So in a situation like that here, you may it may be good here to you have one of your you can use it you can either use it on one of your attackers here, but because you may not have any Bacchus in hand here, I'm almost inclined here to put it on one of the white mages.
Yeah, that is a pretty good strategy to make sure that your healer doesn't die in some of these boss fights in this flag set. Healers like to get punched in the face very quickly.
And given that we've had the pan for a while here, or access to the pan for a while, we're seeing our first Sheila check. Let's see, we found Yang here, performed some percussive maintenance with some kitchen gear.
This is the back of... Interesting. It looks like Flanders is trying to find an alternative to having to take on that Yang.
It does not like So we're seeing Sheila 2 here. We've got the tower key.
Yes, which not a direct objective, but could be hiding our Baron key, could be hiding half of Forge.
We are seeing a Moonbill on Eddie here, but yeah, those kicks here, they're hitting for
that is not pretty. So I definitely don't blame Flanders for being like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go see if I can find something else.
Found a crystal sword so far.
Again, well, you know what? Our chocobos are not gonna go hungry today.
All right, so I'm gonna give Val a try and see if I find any better success there. Nitsi making the with the tower key in hand here, inclined here to make the tower play now. We'll see what's in the alert boxes here. Interestingly here, stealing some sirens.
Oh, you know what? Nitsi sold a lot to get that massa, so he is stealing a siren probably to go and steal some silk webs. And that was an animate rock.
Yeah, that is one half of an alternative.
Just chilling right there in the first floor.
Yeah. Like it's now a matter of finding what that where that second is, because an animate in itself that isn't much help here. It's only when you have that that pairing with the legend sword that it takes you out of it. Otherwise, it just really adds to the count. Granted, here I believe that was Nitsi's 10th key item as well here, so we'll see that experience bonus going forward.
Love to see that. Flossie has completed Dwarf, gotten her second Moonveil in her darkness. Looks like she is probably headed up to check that. Nope.
Yeah. But in terms
Just
of finding
kidding.
in terms of the alternative, Flanders did find that alternative in the trap chest. There's a Baron key in Sylph.
All right, now that's really go mode.
And if I'm making the beeline here to Baron here, not passing go, not collecting $200 along the way, or any additional money. And we see with some darting here, Watch this guy makes pretty easy work out of the Val. Valis, and we'll have a third objective down.
Nice reward, Val. Gee, thanks.
Yeah, that was rather cold of her, wasn't it? Actually, saying, yeah, we'll hopefully talk to you never again, Yang.
Yeah, I can. I believe Y2 Sky has said nope, and we'll also be looking for a secondary go mode.
All right, Flossie, tracing back, where Flanders and Y2 Sky have been with the Twin Harp here. Like, if you're making that dive down here, I think objective here, taking care of that here. And we're gonna find out, who's at the top of the tower, and see, the potential board there, or in this last alert chest.
Yeah, because if the tower somehow, between all of these checks, gives both halves of Forge, then that is a second alternate path to go mode.
Second alternate path here. However, Nitsy doesn't have that Sand Ruby yet here, so may still be inclined. And, this is going to take a while for Nitsy here to find out. So take a little bit longer than you may like.
Yes, but with the levels we have and the party we have, won't be too difficult compared to sometimes when you come up here and have to fight this.
That is true. All right, so we'll see, the Guardian stuff. So he doesn't talk about justice here, but he'll be talking about nap time, and probably about 10
nap time
seconds.
I love naps. Is it nap time yet?
We'll have to ask Dark Knight when he starts to feel sleepy. Maybe it's a bit longer than that. Yep, it's now nap time.
Oh, okay, good. Man, he fell asleep before he even said the best line of the whole thing.
He doesn't say any lines here. It's
oh yeah, I guess that is true.
Night.
He is silent. I forgot.
All right. Flanders not bothering with going to the throne. He's just gonna go straight to the basement, and we'll find out who the true King of Baron is. We don't find this out too often, but given the flag set, but we'll see who's. We got some sort of sparkle. And Larg. And this is spicy. Full party charm.
Oh no!
All right, that's fortunate. Iridia is safe here. But we still have a Palom here who. All right, Venom. We're fine. Venom's fine. But this is also time here that Wyvern can actually, start going into his nuke phase, and Edge. Honey.
Oh no, and I got too distracted by this Wyvern fight to see what was at the top of tower.
Oops.
Oh dear.
Help us out, chat. And yeah. Palom did his best Kane impression on the party.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, that was. I don't know. That might be one of the worst things that Wyvern can do. Because normally those types of things only affect one row, not the whole party. That was bad.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Dathos. I'm your restreamer today. You're all welcome for this. I'm back to working.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, that. I don't know. I'm now very thrown off.
we did get our daily dose of leg, courtesy of Nitsi here. We had our Rubicante in the cannon room. And whew,
We're gonna have to pay attention to Y2 Sky because I don't think anyone caught the top of tower. So somebody roll, somebody make sure we're keeping eyes on that.
Flanders does elect to go the opposite direction this time around here and find out who's the acting as the King of Baron here. And well, we have a familiar face.
Yes. AK Natsu.
And
a crystal shield from the tower key. So that was kind of also a bust.
yeah, not what you want to see out of that check here, where you're only halfway here towards an objective. But maybe this is a 7th character. There is no Cecil to be found today because we got Sid.
Ooh, that was a good Sid sprite, though. I think that was the Mega Man Sid sprite.
But yeah, you're not seeing. Kane is no place in this party today. We pretty much after, and we have. Has Mercedes started to clone their elders?
Maybe, perhaps.
But we'll take a look to see what's in the dumpster. And it's just a legend sword.
Well,
yeah.
What that means is that the back of Sylph is required to fade our... What is that called? Yang. Oh my goodness. I completely lost where I was talking about. Don't mind me, friends.
Yeah, because Flanders has not made a trip back here to to make it maybe another attempt at the Wyvern here. That ribbon should help things, though. But let's. Yep. All right. Flanders is turn random encounters on here. So this is curious. I'm not sure what's going on. I honestly don't know here what Flanders has in mind. Oh, okay. Well, that's one way here to prevent Palom here from casting spells. Shut him up.
Yes. Looking to debuff the party, keep some statuses clean and ready. So between our ribbonware and our muted Palom, should be able to avoid getting charmed.
And I'm going to keep paying attention on Y2 Sky says so we can finally find out here what was at the top of the tower. And we'll see, it's one thing to have, one member of the party, actually be on their best behavior after getting charmed here, but if everyone else decides to turn on Palom first, well, that could potentially still be a problem. But we'll see.
We shall see. Take 2 of this very silly wyvern.
Right. It was a crystal gauntlet.
Glove. Boring.
So it was a lower tower of crystal armor today. Crystal gear. Alright, so we got everyone in the party here. Berserk on Palom would have been bad here, but again, you, I believe, would actually prevent that. I'm not sure if it would prevent it based on how status is stacked here, but all right. So now we're Rydia in her last act of confusion nearly takes out the Palom. Murder Bard is still wondering where he is.
Well, Murder Bard is not Murder Bard because we unequipped the spoon, so he's just punching for one. Which is super heads up. That's
Yes.
definitely a great way to deal with this, especially because apparently ribbons don't block the charm.
No, it did block the charm here. Palom was not charmed.
Yes, he didn't have the ribbon on. He's muted.
No, I believe
So mute blocks it, but the ribbon doesn't.
I thought I saw ribbon put back on Palom here, but I could be mistaken. But Wyvern is starting here to get a little anky here because we're seeing the nukes start to fly now.
Just to jump in real quick, so because typing this is way too long, Ribbon protects against Poison, Blind, Silence, Pig, Mini, Toad, Petrify, Instant Death, Gradual Petrify, and Curse. The only thing that prevents against Confusion are headbands.
Interesting. Good to know.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you to our resident restreamer. Yeah, one thing Ribbon doesn't stop either here is a nuke to the face when you're at 51 HP. Trying to do their best here to get everyone back up here, so provide more targets here while Rosa does the damage here with that Artie Bow and Heroin Rope. And down goes the Wyvern, and that is objective number 3 for Flanders.
Yep. So Flanders has a way to avoid taking on that Yang. So now it is a question of, since he's already on the overworld, does he go up and take the moon bosses, or does he go down and handle the Val before headed to the moon?
Yeah. And as a souvenir for that visit here, Flanders got an Avenger sword here that Edge can dart.
Yes, we love darts. Darts, especially against that Val.
Nitsi, going off here, she's going to take on the Val there. Flossie is about to just take top of tower. From what it looks like here, we know there's nothing but sadness at the top.
Yeah, because it's not like it's even money. It's a little bit of money, but not enough.
Flanders here realizing here that, oops, I had encounters on, so turn them back off. Well, you did all that walking here, where you tend to forget. It's not like I've ever, forgotten here to turn encounters off, ever.
No, of course not. But I think we're about to get our first peek into Cave Bahamut to see what rudeness may or may not await us here.
With 10 key items here, we are levels solve a lot of problems here. So maybe the play is, to take out, these 2 spots, and hopefully you might get enough levels here to take out the, to get through Yang.
Yeah, that is always a possibility for sure.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I know that he is sometimes free, most of the time free. I just don't like seeing Golbez.
Yeah, no, the one thing with this Golbez at this location is that the party's going to have to do the heavy lifting here in terms of the damage here, because those spells aren't going to... Gomez's spells at this location aren't going to do a lot.
Yeah, no. They definitely don't. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's his laugh. Maybe it's his smugness. I don't know. I cringe a little every time I find him, no matter where it is.
Here's the interesting thing here. Y2 Sky's team. You recall what their team name is, right?
Team Bacchus, time for Bacchus. Bring your own Bacchus.
Other way around?
Oh, Golbez. Just kidding. Yep, I was looking at the wrong side of my sheet of paper.
Yeah, so are we seeing some workplace discord now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they all technically work for him.
Yeah, like Gomez, and Gomez here might be just Gomez, and Gomez after this here once Gomez, gets taken out of the partnership. Or maybe it was Gomez, and Gomez originally here, and this is like the rogue Gomez here that, split off.
But where do all these Golbezes live? Do they have a place like the Fupa village?
Unsure.
This is headcanon. I now need to know, like...
Robin, are you proposing that we rename this Gomez Pete Best?
Oh goodness. The lore in free enterprise is getting deeper and deeper as we race today. This is great. Love it. I love it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Klopfer, for clarifying that Golbez is not affiliated with Golbez, and Golbez, except in the circumstances that Golbez is affiliated with Golbez, and Golbez.
And
that clears it up perfectly. Thank you.
Of course, the opinions expressed by Gomez, and Gomez are those of Gomez, and not necessarily those of the Free Enterprise channel or the commentators today.
This is now just getting very complicated.
I'm already confused. 10 minutes ago. Oh, and as a Gomez, not the unaffiliated Gomez's parting gift is a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
That'll come in handy for runners who may or may not have shopped in Dwarf. We do see Nitsi taking on this Yang, and... Well, never mind.
Was taking on the...
was doing pretty well there for a minute, but, Yang's doing Yang things, and when he pulls out a sword and whacks you in the head, it hurts.
Yeah, you wonder here, someone, who's skilled in hand-to-hand combat, why is he in that spot, start using weaponry? And shouldn't they just hurt like punches here, given here that, if you... In our wacky seeds here, because, this isn't the only flag set you can play here. When you give Yang a crystal sword here, he doesn't do anything with it. But at least he is going to take make another attempt at taking this spot down. On Flanders here, we see Val crumble, and that's going to be objective number 4. So 2 to go. Yeah, and Y2 Scott's going to give us a preview of who that boss is going to be because, we've got a 3 frogs and 2 pigs making the trip.
I feel like it would take longer if you're 3 toads than just, regular walking. But maybe you can hop farther? I don't know.
Yeah. Old McDonald's taking everyone on a field trip. E-I-E-I-O. Flossie also making an attempt at Yang. Eddie, despite his spootiness, still squishy.
Well, it looks like Flanders is actually healing up to attempt to go ahead and take this Yang. If he can take this Yang, then that means he does not have to walk all the way down to the Masa altar and can just take that Golbez and Cave Bahamut.
I mean, like, Flanders will have a bit of a level advantage here compared to the other runners here. And more importantly here, I guess maybe compared to Nitsi here, has the advantage of a... doesn't have the Porum here. Has the advantage of a Rosa instead of the Porum here, so... Q, like, I'm not sure that, don't recall here that Rosa has Q4 yet here, but will make, the healing a little more effective. So this should go pretty smoothly on Flanders' side here, with less hit points, less resources here. It'll be a little bit tricky here for Flossie and Mitzi.
Flossie has thrown a moon veil up on edge, so as long as she can continue to heal after a couple of these kicks, it'll be slow, but she should be able to progress and get this Yang beat.
And speaking of fun fights, we have an evil wall at the Masamune altar. I mean, this is... if you buy that ribbon here, this is definitely going to be free here. You probably won't need to get to that point here because we should see our two Edwards and I guess, and a very angry Blarg do all the work here, but
Nitsi has gotten through that Yang. Great fight, great determination. Has cleared the Fey March.
Yep, has objectives 1 and 2 down. And is out. That being said, here still a few items away from go mode. Again, not making that dive a little deeper into the hook route means that Mitzi is going to need to go through that Sylph Cave here to find his go mode. We're seeing blinks up on Y2 Sky's side here. So yeah, Evil Wall should be going down shortly.
Yep, there he goes. Karate has gone down on Flossie's side, so she will get her apple. And Nitsi has figured out that he faded the trap in the upper Babel and is headed back down to get his Twin Harp.
It's an interesting it's interesting play here because if you faded something for this long here, like you would think here, like as a runner, I would think here that someone may have already done that spot here. So if I'm going to, I need to press, what other lines I do have to potentially catch some time up if you think you're behind.
Yep, and we know that taking the back half of Sylph is another way to get to go mode. However, that would take a little bit longer than just bum rushing up this way and walking down to find this chest.
And we're seeing Flanders in the home stretch, having taken down the Yang here. Now doesn't need to go all the way down to the depths of the lunar subterranean here. Can simply make a trip to Valley Cave. Have a few jokes along the way here, and secure what is going to look like a victory here, but you never know. There could still be a hiccup along the way.
Yep, because Y2 Sky will find his Sand Ruby. Right here, which will put him at 5 objectives as well.
Yep, and then from there here, like it's King Farmer, and White Sky is at a point here where is level up to the point here where the Yang here would be manageable and shouldn't pose too much trouble here for the group.
Nitsi has found his twin harp, so we'll be exiting out of the Eblan cave and heading straight there. Flossie got hit by that Val enough that she's had to reset, but is headed right back in to hopefully throw some things at this Val and take her down very quickly.
And so Flanders here making the starting to make the preparations here for the fight here. Turn random encounters again here, and maybe looking here to take a few team members down here. And may have had a few additional team members because we got 2 members up here. But I'm not sure if they're the ones he was necessarily looking to have stay. Here, but the ribbon here will prevent. Well, you're not going to see the demolish hit anyone here because you got 2 members going into the fight. You have a white mage and a very angry bard. Yeah, so let's see that here, and this is going to be close now here because Y2 Sky at 5 key items here is making the way to the down viewers. So we are going to see a very a close finish here.
For sure. It looks like both of our runners in the bottom game will be in their final objective fights at the same time.
Floss making another attempt at the Val. Let's see. So we're going to see, probably are the 2 players in the upper. At the top of the screen here, level on objectives. And that virus here, like you need to get the Berserk off first here. Depends on where the rest of these spells land here. Because Eddie does not have a wall up yet at this time here. Alright, that is... Right, Eddie now has a wall here, so this fight should be safe now. If that Letfree had hit the Edward here, this would have been far more awkward.
Meanwhile, Flossie has taken down her Yang, has completed her 3rd objective.
Yep, so we are in a race, now here, because we got, a single Edward here attacking Golbez, and we have 4 members attacking a very angry Yang. So then, could we have the dream? The wall's gone down on Flanders' side on Eddie here, so Eddie is now vulnerable.
And we do recognize that we do have another encore of harp music, but with this bottom fight in nail-biting range, forgive us.
Yeah. So we have walls back up on Flanders' side here, but that was some time here that may have been lost here. Oh, and that was a big shot on edge on Y2 Sky's side here. And this is starting to look a little dicey. on that side now here. Flanders has taken down the Golbez, and yeah. And, that is, that was a heck of a race between Y2 Sky and Flanders here. Yep. And Flanders takes the victory. We'll have the official time up in a moment.
But yes, GG's to Flanders. And I believe that ding in my ear signifies that he is here. GG's.
Idly ho and GG's.
Yeah. The big turning point in this with the seed was your early Eblan play here, and taking Eblan early, going finding that hook, going down cave up here to find all that gear here. What were your thoughts here once you saw how that played out for you?
So it's like that was very serendipitous. Because I like seeing if I have edge. A lot of the time, I kind of want to just clear out Eblan with that assassin dagger, because he can take hits pretty decently. I don't love having Eddie next to him, but I'll take the Eddie as the Pokemon substitute. Takes a hit and then dies, whatever. And then he happened to have the Charm Claw, so I'm like, oh, I could do all the chests here pretty easily. So why not just go do the hook and check out these two as well? And once I have Rydia get some levels, she'll get Warp. And I was kind of like, okay, let me do all that. And it kind of really worked out, and it set me on a pretty good path at the start. So I was fairly pleased with all that.
One play a little bit later on in the race I did see here, is you made a dive into the Sylph Cave here. I was, trying to find another objective here. Was there something that you were looking to afraid of here, aside from the Yang here, which I know here was is not a boss you like to see in the game, especially at lower levels.
I was hoping. I think at that, I can't remember where I was in terms of key items at that point. What I had, what I didn't have, but I definitely was looking for anything that would let me not do one of those two bosses. There's a one kind of small point I really need to do before I race is like double check like where Val is like ridiculously powerful and where she's not. Even when I beat Val, she gave me kind of a hard time. But I saw those two and I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing Fey March today unless I'm going to set. Then by the time I hadn't found a legend or the adamant, I think at that point I was kind of like, all right, I guess I'm at least doing one of them. Let me see if I can roll the dice and at least find the sand ruby, or I think the other thing, I forget what the other item was off the top of my head, but I was like, let me find something. And it ended up working out. I think the second chest I took in the Sylph Cave was an item I was looking for, and I'm like, okay, so that eliminates some walk or some crazy boss. And yeah, I mean, I ended up doing the Fey March anyway, but I didn't have to do the walk down to the labyrinth or the subterranean, so I was pretty happy with that.
And
yeah, and that definitely put you ahead by about 11 seconds, it looks like.
Well,
So-
there we go.
one thing I think I do have to ask here, because chat was very entertained here by what happened here. What are your thoughts on Charm as Witchburn?
That was an experience. That is a thing that happened in this seed. I didn't like it that much, and I'm sitting here like needing to refresh my brain. I guess that charm does not qualify as a status ailment or something like that in this game. I'm not sure. The technical wizards out there would be able to tell me, because I'm like, how does Pelham have a ribbon, and how is he still getting charmed? But whatever.
The ribbon does not protect from charm. We had to look it up on Wiki.
Great.
And by Wiki, I mean Deathus, but it's fine.
Got it. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm just going to remove all their equipment, and then I'm going to mute Pelham, which was the best I could come up with on the fly. And knowing how, and now kind of reflecting on that, maybe I should have muted the whole party, because maybe mute prevented charm. I don't know. Because then Palom wasn't charmed on the next fight, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I guess it was a bit of an overcorrection. But I was like, as long as I can get Artemis Bow, Artemis Arrow, Rosa going, like, it will fall, and that's what happened. But yeah, that was definitely... I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Charm Wyvern, absolutely not.
Well, it was entertaining enough that literally no one, not us, not our trackers, we all missed the item at the top of tower because we were thoroughly enthralled with what was happening on your screen.
Yeah, just like, oh, the Wyvern loves me. Oh God, why? No, that's not how love should feel, kids. Don't let the Wyvern love you like that.
Now, Flanders Series, was this your third race so far, or do you have one other one next week?
This is my second, so I'll have one next week.
All right. Going into next week here, your thoughts here on potential opponents here, because it is going to be based on a record for next week here, and where you're going to go from here, and I guess prepping here for the Moonville mixture that comes afterwards.
Buffering. So like I'm excited for it. I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm just happy to if I'm within like 5 to 6 minutes of someone racing, then that to me is like always like a plus, because it means I didn't do anything crazy wrong, or I didn't make some like really insane mistake. So usually I'm pretty content with it, whether I win or lose in that respect. It's when I'm losing by like 20 or 30 minutes, I'm like, either I'm against, like Inkraz again, just like flashing back to that tournament where I got seeded against him first. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't stay very long in this tournament. Love you, Pankraz. But like, it's just a matter of like, if I'm competitive in that race, in that sense, I'm very happy. So it's kind of cool that like, I guess for me, it's a nice little pat on my own back that like, okay, I've got 2 wins and I'm going to be seeded or put up against somebody who's going to be kind of equal there. So that, not that the other 2 people I've gone against have been unequal or anything, like you said, like Y2 Sky, I can't believe it was only 10-12 seconds or something like that. It's crazy. It's going to be a fun one for me to watch back. I'm really looking forward to the chat during the Wyvern fight in particular. But yeah, I think I'm happy with my progress. I'm happy I'm doing pretty well. I'm not looking forward to the Moonveil part, because to be quite honest, I haven't really touched those flags at all in like a few weeks. I'm kind of forgetting how they work. So that will be interesting.
Well, you should be very proud of how you run tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever time zone we're in.
Yeah.
Because it was very clean, very just straightforward, very heads up in a lot of ways. It was just very impressive overall from both you and Flanders. I mean, you and Y2 Sky, you both kind of took different paths. But the fact that you were both in your final fights at the same time was, I mean, it was very nail biting. So it'll definitely be a fun one for you both to watch back.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, wish you best luck along the way here, unless we have to be matched. I don't know. We can't be matched up anymore. I don't know. Yeah, we could potentially be matched up at some point here, so best luck along the way here. Unless it's against me here, then maybe a little less luck.
Yeah, just a little. That's fine. Yeah, I'll throw marbles your way too when we get to that point, so it's fine.
Sounds like a plan.
Great.
And GG's once again.
GG's.
Have a good afternoon.
All right, that was our the winner of the White Side versus Flanders matchup. That was Flanders, and in the chat now we've got Y2 Sky. GG's. Y2 Sky, if you are talking, we can't hear you right now.
Better now?
Yes. Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm still in comms mode. Push to talk.
Quite all right, quite all right. So that was a very fun race between you and Flanders. How do you feel about how you ran that overall?
That was a very fun race overall to run. I mean, 14 out of 17. That's a little rough in terms of how much of the game I had to do. I felt like I ran pretty well through all of it. I wish I would have just ran a little bit less of it. Probably about 15 seconds less of it.
Yeah, for sure. These close finishes, when you are the one that's about 10 seconds behind is never fun. But the fact that you did run it so well and so cleanly is something that you should definitely be proud of for sure.
Yeah, thanks. I think the only thing that really felt bad was the tower, especially since the forge never really materialized from it. I think I could have lived without that tower. Looking back on it, I'm not sure. It was definitely hard to go to the moon at that point though, with it left on the table, and then Sheila giving me the tower key to full clear it. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, it looked like the seed kind of gave two different pathways to alternative go modes, as we were calling, because Flanders was in go mode but did not feel like he could, take that Fey March. So he went and dove the back of Sylph Cave, and you ended up doing the pan turn in, which turned into a full tower clear, which could have led to. We were hoping it was going to lead to that forge, but unfortunately, we found out the forge was actually from Baron. The second half was from Baron.
Yeah. Okay. So the Baron key was in the back of Sylph Cave. I saw the legend sword on my spoiler, but I didn't catch the Baron key.
Yeah, we're actually seeing. Yeah, we're seeing Floss. We just saw Philosopher and actually catch in that forge on screen right now here. In terms of the early game here, like when you saw here where where the magma key was here, and subsequently the twin harp here. How you're feeling here once you saw here that was the line the seed was pointing towards you early on?
Didn't feel too bad about it, particularly because I didn't really have a good way to walk out of the hook route quickly if I needed to. Until I got the twins, and then okay, I guess we'll go down there. Go down there, get levels on the twins. Come to find the Rosa, so Rosa came pre-bundled with exit, which was nice. But at that point, I actually went down there with the intent to just go through the hook route if it missed, rather than miss and then go back to Ordeal. I was just going to dive it the whole way and just forget about the magma key if that's how it turned out. But didn't have to. Found an objective down there, and then okay, let's go do our objectives then.
Now, maybe I should have looked into this further. Was this your third race this week, or do you have one next week?
This was just my second, so I've got one more in week 4.
I guess before we wrap things up here, your thoughts on how on the potion party scene itself here, and what you're thinking in terms of strategy wise, your mentality here for the final week of Potion Party.
I definitely want to keep practicing Potion Party. A lot of people are starting to think about Moonveil Mixer. I really want to notch one more win if I can in Potion Party. It's been a fun flag set. I've enjoyed win game flag sets more than I thought I would. Edge versus the Blue Planet kind of prepared me pretty well for this season, thanks to FF4FE. I'm looking forward to how week 4 and then the Moonveil Mixer weeks are going to play out. My teammates have been fantastic. They've been putting in a lot of work outside of races, And I'm excited to see a particularly Softenham and Skarn. I'm excited to see them kind of flip a switch and start running really well here in these next few weeks, and just see how that plays out. But I'm excited where we're going for Moonbill Mixer. I feel like I'm running really well since the start of the season. Just got to get the routing down for Moonbill Mixer a little bit. I think some of the top runners a little bit better at that than me, and I'm due for some more acing.
Well, we definitely wish you luck as you prep for next week. It's going to be interesting to see who we all end up matched up against. And I think that there will be some very, very high-level matches. And I have a feeling that yours will be one of them. So good luck in prepping for that. And GG's again today on a very, very clean, great race.
Yeah, thank you, JMac and Hush Pyramid, for being on the mic. It's a fun job. Dathis, thanks for the fun seed. Evil Wall at Masa and all that other stuff. That was a good one. You never failed to disappoint. Garen and Aerith, thanks for pushing the buttons and not eating them. Because I like track 2 and I prefer the buttons to be there when I sit down. You'll have a great afternoon.
You too.
All right. That was our second place, second on the restreams here today, Y2 Sky, which is the best in the least going forward. We have the makings of a close race between Philosopher and Nitsi as well. Nitsi is ahead on objectives, but only now has go mode. We'll have the option of which direction he wants to go for go mode here, because if he goes one direction, he'll get a forge, and if he goes the other direction, he'll probably find nothing but sadness with that wyvern. Flossie did have a peek at the wyvern and said no. So she's electing here to take the looks like the lunar bosses. Unfortunately for her, was not successful in the first attempt against Golbez here. Looks like here, I believe here, the end went down here, and things kind of went sideways for her there.
It looks like we've got 2 crystal rings on, and probably a ribbon on a third character.
Yeah, I mean that's that. Unsuccessful first attempt here might be the difference here, because Nitsi, if he decides to go north instead of east, after Baiken here, will be able to get that 6th objective relatively quickly, whereas Flossie will need to make a walk down and take down an evil wall.
Yeah, and the fact that Nitsi did not save makes me think that he's probably leaning towards just clearing Baron first, hoping to maybe spike that legend sword before having to go down and fight Baron Basement. I definitely don't hate this way of thinking.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, here you have the levels here where you may you may risk the play here to go straight to the basement, because that's all you need to do.
And we
are seeing that right now here, and about to get some very bad news.
Yeah, we'll see how his party treats him after all being charmed, to see whether or not he's gonna wipe or somehow recover. Maybe the RNG is gonna be nice to him.
This has been a gem of a seed from Dathis. So, trying to figure out. Yeah, and it's just trying to figure out here. I've got this. What do I do now? That wheel isn't going to go up in time. That being said, here, Rydia and Edward still. Okay, they're chilling. Palin with the lit 2 on Rydia. Rydia stays up. This is going to be a problem, though. because Wyvern's gonna blarg back now. Rydia with the dodge.
And
yeah,
Callum
this
with
is-
a dodge.
Yeah, but this is trouble here. Those nukes
Wait
are
a
gonna
minute.
come out, and well, this is if yeah. Oh, that nuke missed here. If this Bahamut kills,
What is Rydia wearing?
no, and then another Mega Nuke dodge. Yeah, that was
That was 3 dodges in a row, though. Man.
man.
Okay.
When was the last? Right, so Nissy just stayed outside of Baron, so might decide to take the safe play and go north to prevent the walk, or may decide to take advantage of the save point further down in the cave.
Meanwhile, Flossie again bounced off that Golbez. He is not super nice and got RNG rolled a little bit, so is headed down to go ahead and take on this Masa altar. To see if she has better luck down there.
Yeah, the evil wall here will still prove to be a bit of a test as well here, because that evil wall here is likes to cheat on attacks and punches hard. Yeah, we are going to see Nitsi here. It'll be interesting to see here, like again here, which direction he goes here, because he may feel that given how that fight went here, that it may very well be beatable.
Mm-hmm. And like with the fact that you don't know, I mean, he doesn't know that another way of go mode is just by completing. When you're at 5 objectives, like you're just going to do that 6th when you have access to it. So he is saving down here to make this a little bit less of a walk in case he wipes again.
Flossie going to make the way down here, and I guess in both these cases here, if you happen to find that stand over here, that solves this, potentially solves this issue here. So it's about where to die. Yeah, so again, we'll see where Nitsi goes from here, and we'll see how Flossie handles the evil wall. All right, and looks like it's turning down the battle speed, so it's going to make another trip down for Wyvern Take 2.
Let's go.
I think a note here looks like Flossie has the levels here seem to be a little lower, so the ability here to tank it might not be as significant. And all right, we're gonna see if we get soon started off here. All right, Eddie and Rydia here. Not charmed again here, but Edward did not equip the spoon tent. We're seeing Rydia with Bahamut again. We are really pressing our luck here. And at this point here, I think both runners probably feel a little behind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Rydia did not dodge that one. And right now, at least here, Nitsi here did save in the Baron sewer here, so won't have as much of a walk. But we'll still need to take some time here to take down the Dark Knight Cecil before potentially making a third attempt. Flossie takes down the evil wall here, so now she's only a Golbez away from these from her 6th objective here. So again, here we have it again. The potential. This is we've had we had a close match between Flanders and White Sky. We have the potential here for a razor finish between Flossie and Nitzy.
Yep. And Flossie did get double experience on that fight, so she will be a little bit higher in terms of hit points when she goes back to face the Skullbaz. So that kind of gives her a little more breathing room for if and when her walls and veils fail.
Exactly. We were seeing Nitzy here trying to prep for the Wi-Fi, trying to adjust Edge's agility here. Edge is a speedy anchor. So trying to make some adjustments here to see if maybe he's able here to get a dart off first here before that charm comes out here. Yeah, but this is going to be close here. Like if this attempt is unsuccessful here, it's probably advantage Flossie at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is huge though. Here, Edge has the dart now here. So that is a lot of experience down here. The Bahamut comes out here and
before the veil goes up.
But that doesn't quite do it here. Rydia stays up though here, so a lot of people say.
As did Edge.
Yeah. Pound still strike here. I mean, if Palom misbehaves here, we could have some problems here. But Edge has the dart set up here, and that should do it.
Third time's the charm.
Yes.
And that is a 6th objective down for Nitzy, and Nitzy has finished this seed with a time of 156 and change, and has won his match against Flossie Fern. GG's to you, Nitzy.
Thank you to Daphnis for rolling that amazing seed.
I guess we'll start here with the most recent here. How do you like Charm?
Oh, I was panicking. I had forgotten that I knew that Crystal. I thought that Ribbons would stop Charm, and after hitting my head the 3rd time there, or 2nd time, I was like, okay, why is Edward and why is Rydia not being charmed? I'm like, okay, here we go. It's been fun, Edward. I'm gonna take your spoon. I'm gonna give Edge the chance to dart, and we're gonna have Rydia do her things, throw up that moon veil or star veil just to see. Unfortunately, I got the timing off just a little bit on that, but Edge survived, and throw the Excal, and finally Wyvern goes down.
Yeah, so all of us, I'm pretty sure all of us learned that ribbons do not prevent charm, because we were wondering the same thing as other runners hit that fight. So the more we know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was great persistence and just great deductive reasoning and figuring that out. And as soon as you threw that spoon, it was clean for the rest of that fight. So that was definitely a fun seed to watch from all of our runners today. So how do you feel about how this Edge hero kind of started out and how the seed went for you?
I'm fine with an Edge hero. I've sort of learned how to sort of handle that. So that wasn't an issue for me. It was more just an issue of routing, and I checked everything except for Self Cave, literally, because I hated Self Cave and I didn't have float at that time on Porum. I chose as soon as I got Magma Key, I panicked because I thought I was way behind, so I didn't even check for Rosa. The more you know. But I
Mhm.
went with Team Mages and Edwards. So yeah, that was it. And I've raced Flossie in the past, and we always have very close races. And I just kept looking up and looking up, expecting the dot done, and just really, really lucked out. I could have really wiped hard on that wyvern, and she might have found another way through and another objective potentially.
Well, she did. She was in her final fight as well when you were in hers. If you had done the Baron Castle the other way, you would have gotten the forge. So she actually forged and was on the moon fighting her Golbez fight when you were down here fighting Wyvern. So it was super duper close.
Oh, yeah. I thought about it and I was like, all right, I spiked the Baron key. I'm like, I need the basement. I've practiced that fight with a variety of different characters. So I never even going up to the king just meant a longer cutscene and more nonsense. But just potentially more nonsense. But in my case, it would have spiked that. I do just want to shout out both you, JMac, and Hush Pyramid. I appreciate you guys being on the comms. I appreciate Dathis and his once again hard required darknesses. And I apologize. I don't know who the trackers were, but they probably did an amazing job with all the buttons. And without you guys, it's just me and Flossie running around for 2 hours, just trying to get through a day here.
Well, be proud of how you ran. You ran that as well as can be. And you know what? You might have been freaking out in your head a little, but we couldn't really tell on this side. So definite GG's to you. And good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Perfect. Thank you both so much. Everyone has a wonderful evening, and thank you for watching.
That was let's see here, our victor in the in our second matchup here, and now we have Flossie Fern with us in chat. GG's.
Hey, GG's. Wow, what a race.
It was a nail biter with both of the races on stream today. Both of them came down to everybody in the last fight at the same time.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that Golbez, that was tricky.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't like Golbez around our parts. And you know, Golbez and Cave Bahamut is mean because your veils fail and he's mean.
Yeah, I totally got the same RNG twice in a row, and you know, the second time I wiped, I was like, oh, certainly this time I'll get that second veil up, and then no, so.
But how did you feel about how the scene went overall?
You know, I mean, obviously there were some somewhat, you know, dead-endy areas, like Tower with like the double crystal gear was disappointing for sure. But I kind of like the long, crunchier, like awful seeds. I like them better than jet seeds, so I definitely had fun running this one.
Yeah, that tower. It was kind of a waste. We were hoping that all of Forge would be up there, and that those of you who chose to like do the tower would get vindicated, but alas, it was behind Baron.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like in terms of the, I guess we were certainly respecting the perseverance in that here, because this briny seeds here can can it certainly be mentally draining here. I guess throughout the race here, like did you feel here you're trying to catch up throughout most of it here, or did you feel here it was kind of
One thing, I've kind of learned just from watching races is that, and listening to the interviews after, is that like, most people have trouble with the hard spots. So, I just kind of reminded myself when I sort of started feeling a little tilty that it was likely other people were having issues as well. So that kind of kept me on track there.
Mhm.
Yeah, the seed here didn't present. Presented here a lot of questions here, and in form of Yong, in the Fey March here, the Wyvern at the Barren Basements, among other things. I guess I believe you have a match. You'll have your third matchup next week here. I guess in terms of preparing for that, what were your plans, your thoughts going into the final?
Yeah, just kind of keep on practicing, trying to run at least 1 or 2 a day, and I should probably start weaving some Moonveil Mixer in there too, just to spice it up. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, it's coming out quick, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh, for sure. Well, you ran a heck of a race. You and Nitzy put on a show, which, I expected nothing less from you two. Just because I know how much you guys play together and hang out. And so it was definitely a fun way to kind of look and see how y'all routed slightly differently, and weaved in and out. But kept it definitely very close. So, GG's to you, and hopefully you will have a good opponent next week to give another great show.
Yeah, GG's to Nits, and thanks for putting this on, everybody. Always fantastic. I was happy to see you doing comms for me, JMac. Can't wait to watch back.
Yep, well, have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
And that was Flossie Fern, our final runner of the evening here. Give all these runners a follow here. They deserve it here after providing everyone here with such great entertainment and great perseverance and fighting spirit.
But guess what?
There's more.
There is double the fun. We are about to roll over to our sister channel, Free Enterprise 2, for yet another Twincast matchup. So keep in mind, remember, do not spoil these races, the results of these races, or you will get the newspaper. But let's head over and give our friends over there support and watch 2 more incredible races.
On behalf of the team here, Garen, It's Spelled Arif, Dathis, and JMac, I'm Hush Pyramid. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.